All right, get ready, because today we're going deep into a 600-year-old mystery.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
It's the Voynich Manuscript.
Ah, the Voynich Manuscript, yeah.
It's got people stumped for centuries.
Yeah, I can see why.
Picture this. A book
Oh,
with an alphabet no one can understand.
wow.
And pictures of plants, but they're like
What?
something out of this world, you know?
Like from another planet, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like an alien message, but right here on Earth.
That's a great way to put it.
It's a real-life mystery, and today we're going to try to untangle it.
I'm ready.
We've got tons of research, historical accounts,
Oh, wow.
even some of the latest attempts to decode it
Really?
using AI.
Wow, that's cutting edge.
So are you ready to get weird?
Let's do it.
Okay, so for those who haven't encountered this thing before,
Right.
can you give us a quick rundown? What exactly is the Voynich Manuscript?
Well, it's a codex, basically a handwritten book.
Okay.
It dates back to the early 15th century.
Wow, so much.
It's written in an unknown script.
So that's why no one can read it.
Exactly. We call it Voynichers.
Voyniches, catch.
And it's full of these bizarre illustrations.
bizarre.
Think of otherworldly plants.
Okay, I'm picturing it.
Astrological charts that make no sense.
Uh-huh. What the?
And, oh, there are lots of naked ladies in there.
Oh, yeah, the bathing ladies, right?
It's them.
Pages and pages of women in these, like, interconnected tubs
It's quite a sight.
with green liquid. What's up with that?
I know, right? It's fueled some pretty wild theories.
Like what?
Everything from a botanical encyclopedia to an alchemical recipe book.
I've even heard some spicier theories out there.
Oh, I bet.
But beyond all the visuals, is there any structure to the book?
Actually, yeah, there's a curious structure.
Tell me more.
It's divided into sections, each with a distinct theme.
So it's not just random scribbles.
That's what makes it so intriguing.
So there's an actual system to it.
It seems that way.
That makes the hoax theory a little harder to believe.
It does, although some people still think it's possible.
Yeah, I can see why that's hard to accept.
Right.
If there's a system, there's got to be a meaning, right?
Makes sense.
Which brings us to the big question. What does it all mean?
The million-dollar question.
Have people tried to crack the Voynich code?
Oh, tons of people.
Like who?
Everyone from World War II code breakers to, amateur sleuths.
Really?
Yep. Even William Friedman, a famous cryptologist, spent years on it.
Did he figure it out?
His conclusion was that it might be a constructed language,
What's that?
an artificial language designed from scratch.
Wow, so not just a lost language, but something totally made up.
It's a mind-boggling thought,
That's wild.
but it also makes it that much harder to decipher.
Yeah, but why haven't we cracked it if it's artificial?
Well, imagine this. You're solving a jigsaw puzzle,
Okay,
but there's no picture on the box,
that's tough.
and the pieces are all weirdly shaped. And you don't even know if you have all the pieces.
Okay, now that's just cruel.
That's the Voynich Manuscript in a nutshell.
So we have nothing to compare it to.
Nope. No known language or code that's similar.
There was like a linguistic island.
They're completely isolated.
Okay, that's a huge problem.
It is.
But what about using modern technology? Like AI?
Ah, that's where things get really interesting.
So we're talking AI and the Voynich Manuscript now.
Exactly, and that's what we'll dive into next time.
This is getting good.
It is.
Okay, so stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back after the break with more on the Voynich Manuscript and how AI is changing the game.
I can't wait.
AI and the Voynich Manuscript, huh?
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
This is where it gets really exciting.
All right, so what kind of progress are we making with AI?
Well, remember those Brazilian researchers we talked about
Vaguely.
back in 2014?
Uh-huh.
They used complex network modeling.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal.
It was huge.
Remind me what they did exactly.
So they took the text, right?
Yeah.
And they treated it like a network.
A network.
Yeah, like each word was a node and
Yeah.
the connections between them.
Yeah. They showed how often the words appear together.
So like mapping relationships between words.
Exactly.
To see if they act like a real language.
That's the idea.
And what did they find?
Get this. The Voynich Manuscript, it shows patterns.
Yeah.
Similar to known languages.
Really?
It's mind-blowing.
So it's not just random gibberish then.
It's not random at all.
There's actual structure, like a real language.
It seems that way.
Wow, even if we can't understand it.
Right.
That must have been a huge boost for researchers.
Well, absolutely.
And now we've got AI taking it even further.
AI is a game changer.
How so?
Well, we've got these algorithms now.
Yeah.
They can analyze tons of text
Okay.
looking for patterns,
Right.
identifying possible grammatical structures,
Interesting.
even suggesting translations.
Oh, well, hold on. Are we going to have a Voynich to English dictionary soon?
Not quite. It's not that simple.
Okay.
AI is powerful, but it's not magic.
Right.
We still need some kind of Rosetta Stone. Makes sense. We're still dealing with a totally unknown language.
Exactly.
But all this analysis, the AI, the network modeling,
Yeah.
it's got to be giving us some clues about who wrote this thing, right?
Well, the ownership history is a whole other mystery.
Oh, boy.
So the earliest confirmed owner was Emperor Rudolph II of Germany
I've heard of him?
back in the late 16th century.
Okay.
He was a collector of rare and unusual stuff.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
He paid a fortune for the Voynich Manuscript.
Really?
He thought it was by Roger Bacon,
Who's Roger Bacon?
a 13th century philosopher and scientist.
And it wasn't.
No.
So much for that theory.
But what's interesting is that even back then,
Yeah.
people were stumped by the manuscript.
Really?
One owner, Georgius Bartius,
Oh?
he was an alchemist,
Uh-huh.
he called it a certain riddle of the Sphinx.
A riddle of the Sphinx, huh?
Like it was more of a nuisance than a treasure.
Can you imagine?
Finding this book centuries ago.
No internet, no Google Translate.
No AI to help.
It must have felt like a message from another world.
And in a way, that feeling haven't gone away,
You're right.
even with all our technology.
We're still kind of in the dark.
The Voynich Manuscript still feels alien.
Otherworldly, like you said.
It reminds us that there are still mysteries out there.
Mysteries that defy easy answers.
Exactly.
It's like a puzzle box with endless layers.
The more you examine it, the more questions you have.
But even if we never fully crack the code,
Right.
the pursuit itself is pretty remarkable.
It really is.
It brings people together from all these different fields.
Historians, linguists, computer scientists.
Even artists and musicians.
Inspired by its beauty.
It's a symbol of our curiosity.
Our desire to understand the world, even the parts that seem impossible to grasp.
You know, it's funny.
What is?
We've got carbon dating telling us it's over 600 years old, and AI analyzing the text. But somehow the Voynich Manuscript still feels modern.
I know what you mean. It's like the debates it sparks, the art and music it inspires, even those online communities trying to crack the code. It's like it taps into something very human.
That drive to solve puzzles.
Yeah, exactly. Like pushing the boundaries of what we know.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, there's that one theory we haven't really talked about.
Which one?
The hoax theory.
Oh, right. Yeah. Are there still people who think it's all fake?
Are there?
Oh, tons of them. And honestly, you can't just dismiss it out of hand.
Really? Why not?
I mean, think about it. Someone creating a whole fake language and those detailed illustrations.
Yeah, pretty elaborate.
It's a lot of work, but it's not impossible, right?
True. But how could you ever prove or disprove that?
That's the tough part. If it is a hoax, it's a really good one.
And if it's not?
Then we're back to square one. What is this thing?
A lost language, a secret message, an alchemist's cookbook.
The possibilities are kind of overwhelming.
What's your best guess?
I honestly go back and forth. Sometimes I think it's real, like someone trying to document something we've lost track of.
Like a forgotten system of knowledge?
Yeah, or maybe a personal code. But then other days I think, what if it's art?
Art.
Yeah, like a medieval mind game, you know?
Oh, medieval mind game. I kind of like that.
It's like the manuscript is messing with us, testing us.
To see if we can figure it out.
And that's what's so cool about it, right? It's not just about finding the answer.
Jeez, the journey.
Exactly, the exploration, the fun of trying to solve a mystery that stumped everyone else.
It shows us there's so much we still don't know about our own history.
Totally, and about how creative and clever people can be.
And who knows what the future holds.
Exactly, maybe someone listening right now will crack the code.
That would be amazing.
Or maybe a new technology will come along and give us a whole new perspective.
Or maybe it'll always be a mystery.
A mystery that keeps us guessing.
And that's okay too, right? The mystery is part of what makes it so fascinating.
You said it. The Voynich Manuscript reminds us of how powerful the unknown can be.
That there are still secrets out there waiting to be discovered.
So, to everyone listening,
Keep exploring.
keep asking questions.
And never lose that sense of wonder.
Who knows? Maybe the next breakthrough will come from one of you.
Until then, the mystery continues.
And that's a wrap on our deep dive into the Voynich Manuscript.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll catch you next time on the Deep Dive on the Deep Dive.